You're listening to the Chopped Podcast, episode number 103. Hey everyone, it's Friday, so you know what that means.
It's FriChat time.
Hey Kara, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Marley. How are you?
I'm good because I'm talking to you. It's always
Ditto.
good. I mean, people are going to get tired of hearing this, but it's always good when you're talking to Kara.
It's always good when you're talking to Marley. Yeah, people are getting tired of hearing this, aren't they?
All this love,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, we get it. You like each other.
Yes. Okay. So FriChats. Let's talk about FriChats. FriChats is like our chance. Kara and I get together and we talk about, I don't know, like the soulful, the
Ooh, I love
love, the juicy part of being bloggers.
Ooey
Is that
gooey
right?
guts of it all.
Gooey guts of it all. Yeah, I love it.
I do too. I like that. Maybe we should just call ourselves ooey gooey guts.
Ooey gooey guts. Okay.
There we go.
There's a song called Gooey by Glass Animals. Have you heard that song?
No, I have not. I will check that out now.
Since you're all preggers, you should definitely listen to that song.
Oh, great.
'cause
It's going to make me cry?
Yeah, it could if you like listen to the lyrics.
I don't need
but the
one more
song is
thing to
that
make me cry, Marley. I'm already watching This Is Us, and it's making me bawl every freaking week.
What is it? This is
This
us.
is Us. Oh, it's so good.
What is that?
Oh, right now you have thousands of food bloggers listening to this podcast who are nodding their heads. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Kara, this is a great show. It's called This Is Us. Just, you got to look it up. It's great.
Okay.
You'll love it.
Is it Netflix?
No, it's on like ABC or NBC or one of those C networks. It's on regular
One of the
TV.
Cs.
Yeah, every Tuesday. It's delicious.
Cool. I'm going to check it out. I can't wait.
Okay.
But yes, Gooey by Glass Animals. They sound like they're probably a little bit high when they recorded it,
Usually
so
the
that's
best
why
stuff.
you won't.
Right?
It's done in a very fun way. You have to listen to it.
Okay.
I'll send you the link.
All
It's a
right.
really cool song.
Perfect. I love it.
What are we talking about? Okay. So I'm Marley with the blog Namely Marley, and you are?
I'm Kara with the blog Fork and Beans.
And here we are. We're talking about the ooey gooey parts of food blogging. And today our topic is, okay, this is a good one for me because I need help in this one. Stop worrying about the how and start following your dreams.
Yes.
Because I say that's hard for me because I come from this project management background and I am all about the how.
Well, it fits your personality too to figure out. It's almost like detective work, right?
Yep.
You've got a problem, you need a solution, and you're the girl to go to. There's nothing wrong with being able to find solutions to certain issues. I think there is two different things. What we're going to talk about is a lot different.
Maybe we could give an example. We were talking about this earlier that kind of a really good example would be if you're too focused on the how could be when I get to 100,000 page views, then I will be able to work with sponsors. And then I will feel comfortable working with sponsored posts.
Yeah, the how is all about okay, so my desire is to, let's say, start making $1,000 a month. And how am I going to get there? I mean, because we're always writing business plans, right? Or our own versions of it, how we're going to get there. And so part of my business plan is getting sponsored posts. Well, lo and behold, the prerequisite for getting sponsored posts now means I have to have 100,000 page views a month. And if not, then I can't get a sponsored post. So now I'm like killing myself over trying to get 100,000 views. And so I'm like freaking out about Pinterest and Facebook, you name it, but you're limiting yourself that's the only way you're going to get 100,000, or you're limiting yourself that the only way you're going to get $1,000 a month is through your page views now.
Yes. When in reality, there may be lots of twists and turns that are just there waiting for you, but you're kind of on this straight and narrow path.
And it's not even like when in reality, it is reality. There are so many options. You're what's the word? Selling yourself short. There you go.
Yes, that's not like a few words, but yeah, I
Oh,
get you. Yeah.
I thought it was one. Oh, okay.
So in other words, like if you're and I say you and I really put myself in that statement too because I find myself on this path a lot. This narrow path that says, okay, this is what I have to do. When in reality, if I could be a little more open-minded about things, there may, for example, there could be other opportunities like working with a brand not on sponsored posts, but maybe writing content for their site. I know there are several food bloggers that do that.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm just now you're saying this, and it just popped up in my head. It ended up not working out because my mom fell ill at this
Mm.
time. But right before that, I would have never seen this coming. But a brand actually hired me to create like 10 recipes for them, and then to be on set for a photo shoot. Right.
Oh, wow.
And I would have never, I would never have thought of that. And, and it was, a great amount of money that I'm not used to making. So, um, you sell yourself short again when you think it only can happen through X, Y, and Z. Because there are so many other things out there that can happen. And so you just don't know. So your job isn't to figure out how it's going to work out. Your job is to dream, and your job is to keep your mind clear and your heart open to the possibilities that can happen.
I love this story, and in fact, it reminds me of I'm trying to think. I think it was in the book Eckhart Tolle wrote. It was like an introductory story that the beggar was sitting on the side of the street and was sitting on a box and would ask for money every day, every single day, begging, asking for money. And then one day, somebody said to the beggar, what is inside the box you're sitting on? And the beggar says, I have no idea. And when he opened it up, it was full of gold.
Well,
And I think the idea behind that is kind of like what
I
you were just
love
saying.
this. Keep
Isn't it
going.
great? Yes,
Yes.
that, we have so many things inside of us that we can draw on.
Preach
It's
it,
like gold.
Marley. Come on. Take us
Preach.
to church right now.
I want a choir.
Oh, I might start singing. Come on.
Let's do it. Okay, but yeah, I mean, I think there's just so much inside of us that we just sometimes are just sitting on it like this box of gold and spending some time. I think spending less time on the how and more time on the inspiration that we feel about the work that we're doing can really help us tap into that more.
This is such a beautiful point you just made because I feel like when we go to the hows, that is fear in control talking. Because the
Whoa.
fear is
Yeah.
what's kind of making us trying to figure out the how, because we feel like, well, I don't know, we're not going to make money to pay rent
Oh,
next month. So I'm in charge now to figure out how this is going to happen. And I think that like when you allow fear to lead, you're saying you don't trust that there's more out there. And
oh,
and the reality is that it completely negates the fact that we already have everything we need. Right? Oh my gosh, you could not have had a more perfect story because it already exists. Whatever your desire is, it already exists. Just like that beggar, he wanted money, it already existed. He just couldn't see it, literally and figuratively. But
I love this, Kara. In fact, as you're talking, I just had the chills because it just like this is exactly what I need to hear. It's perfect. But I want to clarify something because I totally feel this. Like the how is really connected to my ego, and my ego is like not wanting me to fail. I get that.
yeah,
But does it also mean that if we're not connected, if we're trying to like detach from the how a little bit, I mean, are we saying that, don't do editorial calendars or
yes, we're
things like
saying
that?
that exact. No, we're not saying that at all. It's like, okay, it's like saying, God will provide me the right. I don't know if you have heard people say this. I used to think this because I was, ultra religious back in the day. God will provide the right man for me. He's got the perfect plan, and he's just going to fall out of the sky basically, and it's going to be amazing. Well, guess what? It doesn't happen like that, right? I had to get my butt online and get on Match.com or whatever it was and do some work, but also not limit how it was going to happen through what I thought it would be. So yes,
I see.
it does involve getting out, maybe even putting on clothes and going outside and being productive, but very loosely holding the how in your hands and saying to the universe or God or Buddha or whoever it is that you connect with, saying, I trust you that you're going to provide, and it's going to blow me away. And it's going to be something I totally did not expect. And look at all the really good things in your life. Would you have expected it to happen the way it did? Did you expect to meet like Sean while you were playing or I'm sure the other way around, him walking in on this party and seeing this beautiful woman playing the guitar? Did he expect it that night? No, he didn't, but it happened, So,
Yeah, it's funny. In the days that I was single, I had a very good colleague give me some advice, and his statement was, "You don't catch fish by jumping in the pond,
yeah, yeah,
but you do catch fish by making sure you have a line, and it's got to be a good line, and it's got to be the right kind of bait, or that sounds kind of terrible to say bait, but
no, but no, it's all part of the process of fishing. So, yes.
yes." Exactly. I mean, I guess there's specific kind. I mean, obviously, I don't fish because I'm vegan, but I guess there's specific kind of baits for specific kind of fish. So you couldn't have the right kind of bait in the
I
wrong kind
love
of
it.
pond.
I love that
So
you
there's
added
some
that.
things to think about like that. So I think we're not saying give up your editorial calendar and don't plan and don't. We're not
Right.
saying that. We're just saying don't be so tied into the how of how it's going to eventually happen, but be tied into the how of turning your passion into what it becomes on the screen.
Yeah, it's like stop sitting on the couch trying to figure out how you're going to get sponsors. Just start calling
Yeah.
sponsors. See
Yeah.
see where it leads you, but like the ruminating on, the how is what will get you in trouble, because a lot of times when you sit and you're honest with yourself, you hear that story saying, nobody else can
Mhm.
provide for me. I have to provide for myself. Life is so unfair. Um,
Yeah.
or whatever, that's probably my own personal story, but yours might be different. So that's kind of keeping you back from being successful. So start dealing
Yes.
with those stories and realize, like, when you think about it, electricity existed before it was invented, quote unquote, right? It was already
Oh,
there. It was
yes.
already there. It just needed somebody to tap into it. So your dreams already exist. What you need, what you want, what you think, whatever, it's already there. The way the blind man was sitting on the gold, you just need new vision to see that I can actually tap into that.
Ah, that's so great. And in fact, I would imagine most people who are listening to this podcast are already doing that because they've started their blog. They're putting their
You
content
did
out
the
there.
first horrific, hardest step is to start a blog. You did it. You
Yes,
did it. And just keep
you did
doing it.
it.
Yeah. Like, I was talking to you about this earlier, how I remember when I first started Fork and Beans, and it was the first year, and you know my stuff was not good at all, but I always envisioned it the way it is now. And not to say that my stuff is amazing now, but like I always saw myself probably like 5 years ahead of time, of where I'd be. And I just knew that this was it. There was some fire in my gut that I knew that this was going to be my full-time job. And so a year
Wow.
into it, I just remember I used to work at my dad's office. Okay, I had my master's degree at this time, and I was working at my dad's accounting firm as the shredder, everybody. Yeah, I would spend hours shredding their stuff from tax season and then also transferring files from, what, it doesn't even matter. But like, here I am doing that. All the while I had this fire in my belly about my blog. And so I'd see my dad every week. And my dad would always say, hey, so when are you going to start making money from this blogging business? And my response to him always was, it's happening. It's happening. I don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to start making money, but I know I'm going to. So soon, Dad, soon. And for 2 years, I would tell him that.
Wow.
Soon, Dad, it's happening. It's happening. I know it. And then it took 2 years, and now it's happening. I could have never figured out it to work out the way it is now. I would have, when I started 5 years ago, I would have never seen it the same way. I could have never figured out that this would be my life now. And this is how I got here. And that's what I mean by like, stop trying to control the how, is because it's usually, you'll get so shocked and surprised by the end of the day when it does happen. Just start doing it and start pursuing what you love. Believe in it.
And that's the thing, is like maybe creating the vision around what it is. Like you had a vision in your mind of what you wanted to be with your site.
I did. And I didn't even have a vision. I believed it. I literally thought, how does Food Gawker keep refusing my photos? They're freaking awesome. They really weren't. They really weren't. They deserve to be rejected. But at the same time, like I couldn't see anything different at all.
But you had a big why involved, right? I mean, tell everybody what your why is with your site. It was, about gluten-free recipes for kids, right?
Yeah, I have a niece who has very severe food allergies. And at the time, I was also diagnosed, in comparison, just mild food allergies. So I had to switch things up. But I watched this little girl just struggle with life. There was a few times where she went into anaphylactic shock, and it was very scary. Mm-hmm. And I knew that there were other people out there, moms, who were struggling to create tasty recipes for their kids. And when I got the science down behind, baking without certain allergens, I knew I was onto something. And I knew that I wanted to help people out. I wanted it to be a resource for parents to come to and find out that they're not alone, and that they could provide food for their kids that was safe and fun still. It took a long time to morph into what it is now, but there's a huge heart I have behind that with kids with food allergies. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that why, that big why, probably powered you through a lot of,
yes,
if you
you're
did
right.
have some darker days. Yeah.
Oh, and there are still dark days. Yes.
What?
I know. Can you believe it? It doesn't go away, you guys, once you get to where you think you want to be, because it's just this constant sifting in your soul, constant, But that's a really great point, Marley. The why you're doing what you're doing is going to carry you through those dark times.
I almost feel like everybody should stop what they're doing right now and write down a mission statement. And it has to be this very emotionally touching statement, like what you were talking about. Like, I think you had told me once, you don't want to see one child that has food allergies that is at school that can't have the goodies that everybody else is having, they would have these wonderful things to choose from your site.
I think that is perfect. The why is much more important than the how. So stop focusing on how you're going to do it and start focusing on why you're doing this, and keep yourself reminded that. Marley, you're going to be written in history for that one. I love it.
Good. Is there anything else you think we could talk about on this one?
I don't, that's it. That's all I got.
I think that's it. I think the well is empty. We have to go fill it up again.
I gotta go nap now, you guys.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You gotta cultivate that baby some more.
Well, it's either that or eat. So I'll probably eat while I sleep. Whatever.
Yep, both of them sound pretty good to me. So that's it for today's show. As always, I took some notes. We'll have any of the pertinent links will be on the show notes page. We encourage everybody to go to choppedcon.com/podcast, and you can see what those notes are there.
Or future / gooey ooey guts or something. What is that? Yeah.
That'll be our future
Yeah, there you
name.
go.
We got.
Be on the lookout, everybody. We got to figure that out.
Thanks, everybody. This was another great episode, another great chance to talk with you. I had a great time.
I did too, Marley. Toodles, and until next time.
Absolutely.